All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this lesson, Lord will be brief, but it's going to be dealing with some breaking news. You had the Iranian. Let me see if I can actually see what the breaking news said. There we go. Iran's supreme leader. Yeah. So it says here, 1 second. Iran's supreme leader orders strike on Israel. And I believe this came in response to an attack by Israel that killed one of the Iranian commanders or so. But pretty much, about maybe about a month or so ago, you had the situation where Israel basically attacked. I think it was an Iranian consulate in Syria, if I remember correctly. And in return, Iran retaliated by launching drones and what appeared to be missiles into Israeli territory. However, that was as they classified it, a soft retaliation. Right? It was something that was telegraphed long beforehand. It was and the drones were very slow. So it wasn't something that was intended, I guess, to really uh, try to escalate things or in a full on revenge mode. But I think the main part there was so to make a statement, right? That they responded anyway. But with this, you now have once again that what happened over a month ago was a precedent, right? Where Iran actually struck within Israel. But now with this, you have the Iranian supreme leader, which is directly letting them know, look, in retaliation to this, they're going to strike Israel. And, since October 7th it was, I think that was the date, things have really been turning up. And it's almost been a year, right? As fast as they may seem, right? It's almost been a year, since all that happened. That's how fast time is flying. But the point being that as time is going on, things are escalating more and more. And as the scriptures tell us, I believe this is in Jeremiah. I always forget this chapter, maybe the 49th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. But in there, it talks about how the least of the flock shall draw them out, which this isn't something that was going to happen overnight, right? We know that this is going to, what that means is that you would have Israel that would do something that would pretty much drag the nations of that region into that war, right? And it talks about how he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So how is that going to happen? Because by these nations being dragged into a war over there in the east, right? The war of Armageddon, the Lord's judgment. By these nations being dragged in there, you're going to end up having a world war, i.e., World War III, as has been prophesied in the scriptures, right? Isaiah 9:5 is an example, which describes how this war is going to be fought not with, confused noise or garments rolled in blood, right? But with burning and fuel of fire. And why is that? Because this is going to be a war that goes nuclear. We are now in a generation where the use of nuclear weapons is at the highest level, right? The threat of the use of nuclear weapons is at the highest level that it's ever been. And people are afraid of that, right? But this is all prophecy that it will happen. So the point being that the least of the flock drawing them out isn't something that was going to happen overnight, okay? But it is something that is happening. And no matter how you slice and dice the cake, the U.S. is always dragged and involved in there, right? You have the Iran is accusing the U.S. of being involved. The U.S. already said that they would defend Israel, right, in the case of an attack. And so, regardless of what happens, guess what? On the side of the U.S., if you're an enemy of Israel, you're an enemy of the U.S., right? So a lot is happening, and it's very important and crucial that we pay attention, okay, to world events. There's a lot happening in America and in the respective places where we dwell, but there's also a lot happening geopolitically, right? There's also a lot happening on a higher level. Okay, and that's also important to keep track of, and to keep in mind as we move forward, because these things are all culminating to the fulfillment of prophecy, which will affect each and every person on an individual level, whether you may see it now or not. Now, to speak on things that are happening within, what comes to mind is the precept Jeremiah 51 and I believe 7th verse on down to about maybe the ninth, 10th, or 11th verse. But within those couple of verses, it mentions Babylon being suddenly fallen and broken, right? Take balm for her, right? Howl for her, take balm for her pain. It may be that she may be healed, right? And then it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Now, Babylon, we know, is talking about America. And when you look at this place, it has become a complete laughing stock. This country has become a straight joke. All right, a straight joke. Earlier today, I saw a video, and apparently this was from one of Kamala Harris's campaigns, so-called, presidential campaign or whatever it is. And you had Meg Thee Stallion with, these other dancers and stuff on there, stopping short, which I wouldn't even say that, pretty much twerking on stage, singing and promoting Kamala Harris. Now, if you went back in time and spoke to somebody 2 decades ago and told them that, hey, by the way, 2 decades from now, in your future elections of America, by the way, right, the famous United States of A, and you told them that in the future, in your elections, you're going to have a president who is going to drop out the race because his mental health is deteriorating. The presidential debate is going to be about this person say, oh, this person is vulgar. He said, grab this person this way, and then this person is, and they're throwing names at each other. Like it's like it's Comedy Central. And then, you tell them that the vice president who ain't do shit her whole term, who comes on there, repeats three catchphrases like 5 times and then gets off the stage. She's out here running for president and she got Meg Thee Stallion on stage twerking and shit, trying to promote her. That's a joke, a straight joke. And there was also another video that I saw where you had, it was like a panel, right, of people talking, and you had this woman who was trying to promote that. She would say, oh, we gotta really vote for, Kamala, and she is like the first like black woman. We gotta have them in there, and they can do a lot. And then one of the guys in there, pretty much cooked her ass, right? Roasted her nice and right, burnt to a crisp. And he said, hold on a second, why? And then he broke it down, and he did a pretty good job, man. He broke it down. He said, wait a minute. So you want to vote for her, put her in because of what? Identity, gender and identity, because she says she's black, which apparently, at one point she says she's Indian. At another point, now she's black, and she's transforming, she's race changing here. Anyway, the guy is explaining. He's like, wait a minute. So let's look at her record. Let's look at what she's done. The incarceration of quote unquote black people, the letting in of the over 15 million or so immigrants into the country, the lack of handling anything that she was tasked with correctly, and you want to vote her in because she's a black woman, a so-called black woman. That's apparently that's what people seem to think. I don't know why. Okay, and she's running with it. And he's saying, so this is why you want to put her in office? What has she done? Because and then he goes into, he says it's like a repeat of 2008. People went and voted Obama, first black president, yada yada. Put him in there. What did he do for you? He came in there straight for the alphabet gang. What about you? Nothing, right? So he was going into it saying, look, man, you literally can't be that blind, and that much of a sheep that just because somebody comes on stage and they're a woman, well, just because of that, we vote her in. What if she's a straight demon, which she is? Well, then when they get in office and they start doing stupid shit, then you start crying and complaining. But who speaking from a I don't even know what to call this. Let's just say from the masses perspective, who put her in there? You. And I say it that way because, as we know, presidents are not elected, they're selected, right? So who put her in there? You did, right? And then you turn around and complain because you wanted to go, oh, she's a woman, let's put a woman in there just because. People are not thinking nowadays. This is literally what the mindset of people have been reduced to. This is what America looks like. Okay, this is the new America, and the reason this is happening is because this place is going down. That's the whole goal. Is to bring this place down. Economically, this place is terrible. You know, just civilly, it's terrible. A damn civil war is already brewing. You know, the divide is very, very, very big, and people can see it. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, that's why, you know, Jeremiah 51 is such a very 51, and I believe it's the ninth verse, but it's very, very prevalent now because this place is falling. There is no fixing, healing, making this place great again. None of that. The world is being drawn literally into a world war as we're speaking. We're in the most dangerous times than we've ever been. Nothing is normal in the world today. And we keep on saying that, but it's like people look at everything as though, you know, everything is still sweet out here. The world is not normal, man. Nothing is normal. People are not normal. Women are not normal. Children are not normal. Men are not normal. Everything is abnormal from the top all the way down. But people don't see that. They're so drunk. They're so blinded. They're so focused on vanity. Even the way people talk does not make sense. Okay? Actually, listen. Look. Listen to the slang that the so-called younger generation use nowadays. It literally does not make sense at all. You actually need to take time and look up these terms and their use cases to try and decipher what is this person trying to say when they say X, Y, and Z. You know, like maybe some years ago, the slang was like, you know, it was funny, it was ridiculous, but it made some sense. But this shit, the music is gone. You can't call the food food. So, what world are we really living in right now? If Jacob's trouble is not real, if the scriptures, the prophecies are not going to happen, then we're doomed. Okay, there's no way around that. We're doomed. Whether you believe the Bible to be real or not, or you have a different belief, or whatever the case is, if you have some level of common sense and your eyes are open to a degree, and you look around, you can see that this world is crumbling. World. I don't mean just country. I don't even mean just America. I don't mean New York. I mean the world. Okay, it's crumbling. This place is done. It's through. All right. There's no fixing it. There's no going back. Ain't no none of that. And you know what? It's according to prophecy. And we know it's only going to get worse. Soon it's going to get to the point where people are, it's pretty much going to be like the purge. Ironically, it's election year as well. So a lot is happening. We know a lot more is going to happen. But as our Lord and Savior, you know, told us, we have to watch as well as pray. You know, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.